Hello everyone, welcome to the Northland Artists Conversation. My name is Mark Kelly. Thank you very much for stopping by and checking us out. We do appreciate it. Thank you for choosing to watch or listen to us. It's lovely to have you. Whether you're a new listener or viewer, or whether this is your, whether you're just here because you like us, or if you're a fan. We appreciate everyone that comes by, so thank you very much. If you're watching this on video, you might be noticing that I'm actually holding a microphone at the moment. Normally I've got one of our very nice microphones sort of in front of me. Tonight we actually had a really, really special situation. It's only the second time we've had it. We actually had two guests in tonight, which was great, and they're from a local music label, which was phenomenal, called Street Made Records. Both super cool guys. We had Sinner and High Speed. Those are the I guess the rap names they go by. Just such cool guys as well, and it was awesome. They've High Speed has been a musician now for about a year to 18 months, and Sinner is a musician. He's been a musician for a little bit longer, but he kind of started the record label, and that's been going for about a year. One of the things, actually, I'm going to go from the wide. I'm going to go to my camera. One of the things I love about the podcasts and doing what we do is learning new things, meeting these amazing people that we have here in Northland, and it blows my mind when we find guests like we've had tonight, because who knew that there would have been a record label in Whangarei? That's amazing, we've had plenty of musicians come in and sit in the chair, and we've had a few singers, we've had guitarists, we've had some poets, some people that do like electronic music and have got their own studios and stuff like that, but never an actual record label, essentially, because we had Sinner, who is kind of the label owner and an artist, and then High Speed, who is an artist, and they've got two other artists on their label as well. So it was actually really cool. I got to ask a lot of questions that I've always wanted to know the answers to. So it was really informative tonight. We didn't touch too much on their, kind of on their background, mainly because it was just nice to sort of, with these podcasts, we never know where they're going to go. They'll end up wherever they want to end up. And, it was just interesting to be able to talk about, them getting up and running and establishing themselves as artists and their chosen genre, their different rap styles, and also learning more about hip-hop music and the culture as well. So for me, lots of learning tonight, and it was great. I think I did what I normally do, which is ask a few dumb questions. Kind of goes without saying, but as I've always said, it's always good to learn something. So I tell you what, let's sit down and have a conversation with Street Made Records. This is the first time I've actually had to do a handheld. So yes, a gentleman, welcome to the Five Elements Media Studio. Thank you for joining us on the Northland Artists Conversation. It's not very often we get two people in the studio, as we were talking about before. You guys are the second lot that we've had. So we first had Aaron and Kelly from Northland Horror. So the fact that you've both been able to come in is wicked. Now, so when I did music, I went by the name Mark, because my name is Mark. However, you guys have got some very interesting pseudonyms, or is there another phrase? Like the white guy says like rap names.
Yeah, more
But so what do you guys go by?
So I'm Sinner.
Sinner.
Yeah. It's just the way it's spelled. It's sort of like a street code, I suppose. SNRXG. So with the X is more like a space.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
And
mine's High Speed.
High Speed.
Yeah. HY.
HY.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hy as in HYSPEED.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, Sinner and High Speed. I'm still just Mark. Kia ora. It's good to have you on.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. So it was great. Now, did you reach out to us, or did producer Andrew reach out to you guys?
I believe he reached out to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it kind of went from there.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
cool. So I mean, you know, we were sort of talking a bit before inside. You guys have had a chance to have a look at the podcasts.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts around what we do?
Well, no, I didn't really think much of it. I guess we just, I myself personally just looked on it to see how you did things.
Yeah.
And I only looked at the one you did recently with Melistic.
Yeah.
So
Shout out to Melistic, man.
yeah, definitely.
He's absolute badass.
Yeah, I guess no, I didn't really think much of it at the time. Really, yeah.
It's you know we've been the podcast will be officially a year as of the 1st of May.
Nice.
You know we've had a wee bit of a break.
Mm.
You know I kind of made the decision that everyone should take a holiday.
Yeah.
Christmas and New Year's, man. We'd been going flat out.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm sure as you guys can appreciate, once you start something new, you go right now. We got to invest.
That's
a lot of time, and time disappears very very quick.
Yeah, sure does.
So I'm always interested in knowing kind of what our artists' backgrounds, because you know as we've done a number of these podcasts, you know we've had people from like India that have immigrated across to New Zealand, or
Right.
they've lived in Whangarei their whole lives.
Mm.
You know they've come from Denmark or England. So I mean, you know, in your own time, tell us a little bit about your backgrounds.
Well, I myself personally, I'm from Waikato area.
Waikato.
Yeah, small
Waikato.
town not far of Hamilton, Huntley.
Oh, they had that song. What's wrong with Huntley?
Oh,
That's a classic song.
yeah. I'm not too sure what's going on with that one, but yeah, I'm just from Huntley.
Yeah, nice.
I was raised there with my nan.
Yeah,
Yeah. Spent most of my high school years there.
yeah.
Yeah, until I met my partner, and then about 2016. Oh,
Mhm.
sorry, I met my partner 2013,
Yeah.
and then she moved me up here about 2016.
Oh, okay, nice.
Start working.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I started working from there, and then we kind of moved around the country a bit.
Yeah.
I went back down south, and then I came back up here, and then pretty much started this label.
Nice.
Yeah,
What about
yeah.
you, High Speed?
Well, I was raised up here in Whangarei.
Hey, born and bred.
Yeah.
Welcome, bro. So is producer Andrew. He's
nice.
he's a local hardcore.
Yep.
And so what was it like growing up in Whangarei for you?
For me, I grew up in Whangarei.
OT?
OT,
Yeah,
yeah,
I grew
nice.
up in
Cool,
18.
man.
And to me, it's just another day,
Yeah.
because I was just growing up in the streets as a normal kid and go to school every day.
Now you've mentioned the label. You're an artist and a producer, or the label head,
Yeah, pretty much. Yep.
and your role is you're an artist as well.
Yeah,
Just
I'm
artist. Yep.
Just an artist.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when did you guys sort of both discover, you know, the genre, and then when did you start going, man, I reckon I can do some shit?
So when I first moved up here, I was working on the roadworks.
Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah, and I was working with a guy, Shane. He was kind of our STMS.
Yeah.
And as we all do, I just went to his house on a good afternoon, had a few, and then he invited this fellow over.
Oh
and
yeah.
then just pretty much started from there, really. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So it wasn't so. And what about yourself?
Well, that's pretty much how you said it just then.
Yeah.
So
That's how we met.
we started working together on the roads for a bit,
Yeah.
and then he discovered I made a bit of music on the side as a hobby, and then
We come over and chill out. And
Nice.
Yeah.
went from there, but I only came in just last year and
Oh wow.
kind of really just found my love for music,
yeah.
So music for you is quite a new thing.
I
I'd say
actually
so.
love music, but
Yeah.
bringing it out and expressing it in a way that trying to let everyone understand how I feel
Yeah.
was a bit different,
So it's like how long would you say you've kind of been as an artist then?
Not long,
Not that long.
Yeah,
Wow,
about a year and a
really?
half. Yeah.
Far out, man. Well, congratulations. That's really cool. I mean, it's always, we've had some incredibly talented people come in and sit in the studio,
Yeah.
and some of them haven't found their creative expression until like in their 40s.
Right.
But then once they find it, they kind of go, "Why didn't I do this earlier?" So we've had people that were into art at school, right?
Yeah.
And then they went off and got law degrees.
Mm.
And then they were like, I don't want to do law anymore. I want to be an artist. And they could just do that. But, okay. So that's interesting. So you guys both have quite a strong fundamental, I guess, love of hip-hop R&B?
Yeah, definitely. Yep.
Yeah.
For myself personally, yep. Yeah. I mean, I was brought up a lot around like Tupac music back when I was going to primary school. That's all I could hear.
All Eyes on Me.
Yeah. That's all I could hear. So it kind of influenced me to
Still one of the greatest double albums ever.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're kind of in that, I guess, influenced by him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess I just wanted to give it a go from there.
And for you, that was in high school, or did you sort of wait a little bit?
I was more in primary.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, I was influenced by that in primary. I guess I just didn't really go about it until high school.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right, and for yourself, it was always, like, what sort of artists did you kind of grow up with?
I was kind of with the same person, but mine was changes, because I didn't see no change for like what was happening.
Oh, right, yeah, okay.
Trying to grow up through those streets, you don't see no change unless you make the change.
Yeah, absolutely. What does the quote, be the change you want to see?
Yeah.
So if you want to, see a change, sometimes it's got to be you that does it.
Definitely, yeah.
I mean, I don't imagine it's easy at times. I imagine it can be quite tough.
Yeah, sure was, yes.
So what was high school like for you guys?
Well, for myself, I didn't really last long,
Okay.
As mentioned earlier, I was living with my grandmother at the time. She was quite going through some health problems, so
Right, okay.
I didn't really last long at my hometown when I first started college.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so I left the country for a bit, and then I ended up coming back, and then, pretty much go through the same cycle again, yeah.
Okay. And yourself?
Wow. Oh, what was the question?
How was high school for you?
Oh, I didn't really last in high school, I only lasted 3 days. And
3 days?
3 days of my first day of year 9.
And then you were just like, yeah, nah, I'm good?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Pretty much. Started making my own way of trying to find money, make money.
Yeah.
Trying to put food on the table,
Yeah, and that's when the struggles are real, you kind of got to go, well, do I look at the education or do I look at income?
Definitely.
What can I provide?
Mm.
And that's always it's definitely a tough thing. I mean, I had friends in high school that were in a very similar situation.
Yeah.
And they would sort of be gone for weeks or months at a time.
Yeah.
Because it would be like, what are you doing? It's like I was out having to pick kiwi fruit. It's like, oh shit, okay. So why is that? Well, Dad's not working.
Yeah. I guess
we got to eat.
Yeah.
Hard times breed good men.
Yeah,
That's what they
definitely.
say. So, man, okay, so you guys, you both left high school relatively early in the piece.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And then where did you kind of go from that point onwards? You said you moved overseas, you got work. Is that sort of right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I moved over Australia with one of my relatives.
Yeah.
Stayed over there for like 6 months. This was back in like 2012.
Okay.
Leading into 2013.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just came back here, and that's when I first met my partner, and then, she moved me up here. Well, we stayed back down home ways. Ngarawahia, small township.
Love Ngarawahia, man.
Yeah, we stayed down there for like 2 years.
Yeah.
I stayed with her family. Then 2016 we just come up here, and then started off from there really.
Okay. And what about yourself, High Speed?
Me, I just...
Did you just sort of dive on into whatever work you could find type thing?
Yeah, kind of. It was
or just whatever, any way you could make money?
Yeah, exactly that. Trying to make money somehow.
Yeah, we can leave it at that, eh? Yeah, sometimes it's what's better left unsaid.
Yeah, definitely.
Kia ora. So you're kind of out in the world. You've got a partner. You're single, or
No, I got a partner
you
too.
got a partner as well. And you're kind of making your way through life.
Yeah, pretty much.
Is there one particular moment in time where you both can go, yeah, cool, something needs to change?
Yep, I can say something. Yep.
Yeah. Go for
I've had some good times with my brother here sitting
Yep.
here because he's given me some good advice.
Oh, nice.
And I would say something to me is like, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have been in the right track. I would have been going somewhere else. Like, he managed to turn me to music,
Yeah.
made me fall in love with music,
Yeah.
and kind of turned me a different way of going that way. Go this way.
Yeah, nice,
And I
man.
like it.
That's very cool, and respect for that as well. And it's so cool when you can meet someone like that who influences your life in such a profound and positive way.
Yeah.
That you can look at, because you guys might be able to look back at the lives that you had before and go, what was it doing?
Yeah, definitely.
Honestly.
Yeah.
What the hell was I up to?
Yeah.
And you can look at it and go, well, look at me now. 2 years ago, would you have thought that you'd have started your own label? Would you have thought that you would be an artist on a label?
Yeah.
I know artists that struggle for years to even get a label. You clearly just went, fuck it, make my own.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, what is it? I have always been interested in the idea of starting a label as well.
Okay.
Because, I was like you guys, I was an artist, and then I kind of wanted to move a bit more behind the scenes as well.
Yeah.
But how hard has it been? Or what sort of challenges have you guys sort of gone through starting a label and then being on a label as a relatively new emerging artist?
So I guess challenging things, obviously, just trying to foundate everything in the start.
Yeah.
Getting the right connections, right people involved, and obviously funding as well plays a big part in it.
Yeah.
I mean, challenges we've also faced is just trying to, because the music that we make is not 100% family friendly, I suppose you can call it like that.
Okay, if we were to put it into a genre, what would it be? Are we talking like the East Coast, West Coast gangster rap?
Yeah.
I mean, are we
similar to
Are we
it?
talking like DMX? Some of the old school guys?
Yeah.
Or are we more like sort of more the new school? I'm sorry, Andrew's gonna laugh. Andrew knows hip hop. I know metal.
Yeah.
But is it kind of more the new school, like Meek Mill, Mac Miller?
Brother, here we've got two different kind of beats that we like.
Oh right, okay. So
we don't have the same kind of.
You guys have like different. So obviously different life experiences, right?
Yes.
And you're going to have that expressed in a different way. So what would you say your style?
Oh, I guess I'm
would
more of
be?
like a trap artist. In a
Okay,
way,
right.
But I adapt like more of real life experiences into that type of sound.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Compare if you were to compare an artist or like a range of artists, let's say someone like me who is, not particularly knowledgeable about the hip hop and R&B culture, who would you say your style is quite similar to?
Yeah, well, I haven't really thought of it, to be honest. I guess I'm trying to be one of a kind.
Original.
Right.
Yeah, try and make it original.
Be the first sinner, not the second Fetty Wap or something like that.
Yeah. Pretty
I'm
much.
just throwing out names at this point.
Well, that's what our company is. It's original and authentic.
Yeah.
So we try and make all our music from our own heart for how we feel, and we don't want to try and copy someone else and be like them and
you got to be original.
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
Got to be original.
I mean, there are the influences there, but we just...
Okay, let's go with that then. What are your guys' influences?
Well, for myself, as mentioned before, Tupac is one of my main influences.
Yeah.
He's one of the reasons why I kind of started this own independent thing.
Is it his style, his beat?
Just his story, really. Like, with each song he has distributed.
Yeah.
Yeah, just his background story he's had with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And yourself?
No, mine's Knowledge. Have you heard of a fella named Knowledge?
Producer Andrew's nodding. Presenter Mark is going, I don't know.
Well, I'm more like his lifestyle.
Okay.
Because he relates to me a lot.
Right. Okay.
He's been through something that I can hear through his music. It's the same as mine.
Right.
That's
Okay.
what I can hear in myself.
So
It's like,
it's the background and the shared life experiences that you kind of relate to. That
Yeah.
You go.
Yeah.
I see a lot. I see not a lot. You see some of yourself in the particular artists. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing that a lot of metal doesn't have.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's traditionally a bunch of angry white guys. Fuck you, fuck the world. No one understands me. Although that leans more into emo. But that's another genre. So, I mean, I think that's really, really cool. And, you know, it's always nice and refreshing when, as an artist, you can kind of sit down and write things from a very personal level.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
You know, because as you start playing live and gigging, you've got to have something that you can kind of hold on to, because you know if you're doing the same track, you know, over 7 years, you get bored of it pretty quick.
Yeah.
So having something that's like relatable, because you know if you have a song and the crowd enjoys it and they kind of want to hear it, if you make a lifestyle out of it, you have to play that track.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Mm.
You know, it's like, do you go to a Rolling Stones concert and they don't play Satisfaction? You'd be pretty pissed off.
Yeah.
You know? Not that I'd ever go to Rolling Stones, but that's another story.
Yeah.
So the with the shared life experiences that you guys have had, and essentially I'm guessing it's a bit of a mentor-mentee relationship.
Yeah, in a way, yeah.
Yeah.
You can see that, yeah.
Yeah. Where is Street Made Records at currently?
Could you be a bit more specific?
Sure. So the label's been going for around a year.
Yeah.
Right. You've and kind of invested money into it where you can.
Yes.
And you've got some gear, you're up and running, and you're releasing stuff. So that, I guess that would be where the label is at the moment. It's kind of in the foundation building stage.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So from the, I guess, the label owner's perspective, is this when you first started the label, is this where you saw yourself being, or did you see yourself being somewhere else?
Well, in a way, I didn't really expect much from it.
Yeah,
to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess where we are at now, yeah, kind of looked at it like, yeah, kind of straightforward, I suppose. And
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, we are trying to do more, trying to do a lot more things.
Such as?
Like just getting out there in public and do
Yep.
some like live events and that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we done about 4 shows last year.
Yeah,
Our
cool.
first one was Maritime Festival here in Whangarei. Town Basin, sorry.
Maritime?
Maritime Festival.
When was Maritime Festival.
Maritime, sorry.
When
Yeah,
was
yeah.
that? That was that start of last year?
Yeah,
Or the middle?
I think it was the middle, sorry. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
a while ago now. So.
Yeah. I know, time flies when you're old. Okay, so I'm very curious to know, how did the first performance go?
Yeah, it went well actually. It was me and one of the other artists on board the label.
Yep.
Which was there. High Speed wasn't around at the time, but they went
Oh, wow.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we did set a certain impression.
Cool.
Yeah. So.
And you said you've done 4 gigs. Have you
Yep.
actually been on stage and performed?
Yep.
How'd you find it?
That's pretty good.
It's a huge adrenaline rush, eh?
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
when
It's different when you got a whole lot of people in front of you.
Yeah.
But then it's an adrenaline rush because everyone's watching you and they're going to be watching you
Bit of
whatever you do.
paranoia kicks in for you.
It happened a few times.
Yeah. You're like, am I going to make myself look like a dick?
Yeah.
And then eventually you reach the point where you go, don't care.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm going to feel it whatever way it comes out.
Mm.
And it's going to be awesome.
Mm.
And people are going to vibe on it or not.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's cool, man. That's cool. You know, and so how many shows have you guys actually done so far?
So this only just 4.
Just the 4?
You've got one more coming up this month, but you just recently only 4. So Maritime,
AMP.
AMP Showgrounds. We're doing a bit there on
Oh,
stage.
nice.
Yeah, we're
cool,
on
man.
there. And there was one
Voice of the Streets.
Voice of the Streets that was based in Kawakawa. At the
now,
RSA?
yeah, I was going to say, I think I remember seeing that event. Yeah. Nice.
Run by Cap Z.
Yeah,
Yeah.
brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. Without Limits, I believe, the little organisation they got going up
Yeah.
there. Yeah. And just recently, I myself, because the team wasn't available, just went to Waihi,
Oh, wow.
Secret Garden, Waihi, a little bar there. So
Yeah.
that was our last performance from
Oh,
last
nice.
year.
And how many performances have you had?
I've
last
only
week?
done one.
Yeah,
Just the one.
just the
Yeah.
one.
We're gonna jump on the other one.
Get another one under the belt.
Oh,
Yeah.
Get half a dozen, you'll be confident as.
Oh,
yeah.
definitely.
Just
Yeah.
kill it. Okay, so it's always really interesting because, I've done music for a number of years and, performing and being on stage. So for me, this is actually really cool to see artists that haven't been doing it for as long as I have and therefore not as cynical.
Yeah.
Because you do get cynical after a wee while. Producer Andrew nods his head. When you're in the studio and you're recording, are you writing for yourself? Are you writing for, if the song's structured this way, it's going to have this type of crowd reaction? Who are you actually producing music for, apart from yourselves? Because every artist should create for themselves, right?
Yep. So our writing process is pretty much straightforward. I just get the team to try and come up with singles or whatever they can at the time, and then we see whether one of us could feature on each track.
Okay.
Yeah, and we pretty much just go with the flow, really.
So a lot of cross-pollination type stuff?
Yeah,
Whereas
yeah.
like you might do a main track and then feature one of the other artists on the
Yeah.
label as well?
Yeah.
Man, that's really cool because that way you kind of, everyone's helping everyone up, right?
Yeah,
everyone gets lifted up all at once.
I mean, it's not really like Bone Thugs, how they were kind of writing each other's words in a way, and kind of,
Yeah.
But yeah, we pretty much just kind of write our own thing and then see where we can go with it in the end.
Nice.
Mm.
Is there anything that you guys are currently working on at the moment?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, we got a head nod.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we've got
Just
an
last night.
exclusive track.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, we've got an exclusive track in the works. Just met with this guy, or not met with him, but I was talking with this producer from New Zealand.
Yeah.
He's currently staying in France, somewhere in France.
In France?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. I think he's trying to network there. We've got a beat off him,
Yep.
exclusive beat. So, yeah, got exclusive tracks in the works. So I think my team's got a few singles as well coming up.
Nice.
Yeah. We're trying to get music videos going in between it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
Yeah, definitely not. Yeah.
Well, it could be.
I've touched base with a few like other local videographers here, like
Yeah.
JO Films, and I believe there's I'm not too sure if you're familiar with him, Maru Henari.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Yep.
touched base with him.
Yeah.
The fees are quite hefty, but obviously it's worth the time and quality they have. I
Yeah,
suppose. Yeah.
And that's very true. You often you get what you pay for, right?
Yeah.
it
That
is.
makes a lot of sense.
Okay, so we've talked about the label, and we've talked about your guys' background, and we've talked about some of your influences. If we talk about you guys as actual individual artists now, because something I'm always very fascinated in.
Yeah.
If you're, and I'm going to direct this first question to you, mainly because this is still very new, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
So, having found this as a new love and passion and what you want to do, where do you see yourself taking it? How far do you see you going with this? And I know that the easy answer is as far as possible, but I'm looking for a real answer.
Can you be more defined about that?
Yes, I can. Great question. So, within your first year of being able to call yourself an artist,
Yeah.
producing material, getting up on stage and performing, right?
Yeah.
Are you, in your head, are you going, okay, cool, so I can quite happily do this and that's it? Or do you go, cool, I want to do a music video, I want to put out an EP, I want to get on an internet or a national tour, I want to open for someone, I want to open for someone international, I want to go to Australia? Where do you see yourself going? Because when I was in my band, I had a whole bunch of little check boxes that I wanted to do. I wanted to record an album, I wanted to shoot a music video, I wanted to play at the power station, I wanted to do international, I wanted to be an opening band for an international artist.
Mm.
Right, so I went tick, 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 tick. And then the next one for me was Australia, We all shit the bed and broke up. Good stuff. A classic band. So for you as a new artist, where do you see yourself going?
Well, I'm not gonna stop making music until. Well, I'm talking here. People start yelling out my song themselves, eh?
Nice. So even when you get to a stage where you can walk on stage and just stand there and go,
Yeah.
To be honest, I actually just recently watched something, and one of my brothers actually just put this up there, and I was, and I was watching it.
okay, what is
and
it?
He was it was Central C. He was going hard,
Yeah.
and he had his mic out there, and everyone singing the song,
Yes.
and I found that inspiring as.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think, I only had it maybe 3 times out of that whole 7 years. There was only
Right.
3 occasions where I had that. And honestly, you get goosebumps. You walk off stage with the biggest ego in the world because you're like, everyone knows my shit. It's great.
Yeah. It's the best feeling, eh?
It is. So for you, there's never going to be...
Well, I'm never gonna look at how far I can get it. Eh? As soon as I can see people doing that, I know I'm on the right track.
Good. Cool.
I know I'm
Okay.
on the right track, and I'm gonna keep going.
Nice. And then I will ask the same question of yourself as the more established artist out of the two.
Yeah. Well,
What are your goals?
my goals is just to help. I guess like that's why I've kind of started the label as well.
Yeah.
Just saying like because there's a lot of unheard of talent here, especially from the streets and that.
Yeah, definitely.
So, I guess for like, see myself being in a position where I'm able to, I guess, mentor others
Yeah.
and put them in the right direction, as well as like doing my thing in the midst of it all. Yeah.
So you what I'm sort of sensing from you is you'll still do the artist side of the business, but
Yeah.
yours is going to be sort of fostering and nurturing talent
in a way,
to
yeah.
come through. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Man, what are they called? They A&R, artists and repertoire. That's what their job title used to be. Is you'd go out, you'd go to shows, you'd find new talent, you'd work with them, and then you'd kind of help bring them up and get them established, right? So for you kind of want to move a bit more behind the scenes.
Yeah, in a way, yeah. I kind of do want to move behind the scenes. Yeah.
Yeah. There's certainly nothing wrong with that. That's one of the things I've sort of done. I can't really say that anymore because I'm on camera interviewing artists. Where I can be behind the scenes and not be on camera anymore. And here we are. I'm the guy asking the questions. Go figure. Other than music, is there sort of any other avenues that you guys would like to look at as a business entity?
Whoa. No, we haven't really thought of it, to be honest. Yeah, we just kind of sticking with music and that for now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's actually a good question. I might have to really have a good think about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's one thing that we've sort of found doing this podcast is there's opportunities available if you are prepared to kind of think outside the box.
Yeah. Yep.
You can, you guys are in great situations because you've proven that you don't necessarily have to lead the, mum, dad, 2 kids, perfect house, go through high school, get good grades lifestyle. You can have a, should we say a challenging lifestyle?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Well, a challenging lifestyle. But you can always connect with music and with people and find a different way of doing things, right? And that is actually very inspiring, and that's definitely a message that we'll be certainly singing praises for, because it's not every day that you kind of meet young people, and I can say young because you're 20,
25.
you're 25,
23.
Yeah.
My birthday's actually in 2 days.
Hey, happy birthday. This podcast will come out after 2 days, so we'll retroactively say happy birthday. So I'm old enough to be your guys' dad. Right, so you young whippersnappers, as my dad used to say to me. And it's really cool that guys that are as young as you are actually wanting to have a positive influence in a community. Where nowadays it's so easy to be led astray or go down the wrong path because there's so many bad choices that can be made so quickly, and they can just have like such a negative consequence. You can kind of, continue down that path, and you have to go, this is a conscious choice I make to no longer go down that negative path, but to go down a path of positivity.
Yeah.
So I mean, absolutely more power to you guys. As gigs come up and music, we'd love to have you back on.
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
As well. If it's just one of you or both of you, we do another double.
I just hope next one is a bit more productive with the answers and things. Yeah.
Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm not expecting, Shakespeare.
Yeah.
You're not here to belt out a soliloquy. You're going on in great detail about this is the hardships of my life. You talk as much as you want. I do a lot of waffling, and that's okay. I'm comfortable waffling. It's your first time doing anything like this?
Yeah.
Your first?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So let's just chalk it down to the fact that we met hour and 15 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And neither of you have done anything like this before.
Mm.
And it's just about being comfortable, right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. But I guarantee you guys, next time you're on, it'll be a lot easier. And it'll flow a lot more smoothly, and you'll be totally comfortable with it, which is great. And that's how it is. We always invite guests to come back if they've got something else that they want to celebrate or something else that they want to launch or talk about, because it's always nice. You can kind of, we've had a couple of guests now that have been repeats that have come back on.
Okay. Yep.
And it's always interesting finding out where they were when they first came on versus where they are now, because some guests will have a complete 180, and they'll be, we were doing this at the time, and now suddenly they're doing, I don't know, like stick and poke tattoos, for example.
Yeah.
Or some of them are just like, I was doing this one thing and I've kind of ramped it up and it's on the next level now. So, you find out these really interesting things and where your journey creatively has taken you between podcasts.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's cool, because we love hearing about people, learning about them, understanding where their journey is, what they've done. You've got now on, you're the artist, you're the label, and you've got 2 other artists on the roster?
Yes.
And you yourself are one of those, are additional artists, so you've got 4 in total.
Yeah, 4 in total, yep.
Long term, how do you look for talent? This is a business question.
Yeah.
How do you look for talent? What are you looking for? And how do you go about getting that talent interested in what you're doing?
Well, I guess I just go on the net, really. Yeah, and just seek a lot of local talent from there. And then,
do you go to gigs and stuff like that?
Not at the moment, no.
I was going to say, can we speak honestly and say, are there many hip-hop events?
No, not up here specifically, eh?
Yeah.
And I've realised it's mostly all down south. There's quite a lot down south popping off at the moment, yeah.
Yeah. We'll work on changing that, obviously.
Yeah.
I think that'd be good for everyone. There's a huge hip-hop community in North, and it'd be nice to give them a bit of a space where they can kind of come in and, work some shit out and go from there.
I guess it's more of just the impressions at first sets, when you first hear like a hip-hop artist or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, as I said early on, I'm not terribly up to date with hip hop. It was never really my genre.
Yeah.
So I guess that's why I sort of asked that question. Who would you consider yourselves to kind of sound like?
Yeah.
So that way, the common man, myself, who doesn't know much about it, can go, oh yeah, okay. Well, I've heard of X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
And then you kind of know what you're in for, right? Whether it's going to be how many genres of hip-hop are there?
There's a few.
Producer Andrew leads out a big deep breath and then says a few.
It's a whole podcast.
We could do a podcast on each genre and then subgenre. 246 podcasts later.
Wow. It's a wicked one.
So where to from here for you guys?
Well, at the moment,
apart from the birthday boy.
Yeah, at the moment I kind of lay back with producing music, just trying to help the team get their
Ah.
thing going.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you have taken on more of that management role.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
okay.
Just trying to help us out a bit more.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Just
Yeah.
trying to get us out there.
So you're kind of the label management promotion as well.
Yeah, yeah. For now, yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Until I'm ready to get back into writing more music and
Nice.
things like that. Yeah.
Okay, and but have you got any material coming out?
Not like individually, like
Like
my own?
yourself, the artist?
yeah, nothing at the moment.
Okay.
It's more of a group thing.
More that. So what's the label got coming out?
The label.
Yeah. Is there anything?
Not at the
Can
moment.
you
Like it's
be-
all
can
in
you
the
be
work.
more defined?
So have you guys got any singles that are kind of, like each song will be like a different way through production, right? Like you might buy some beats and then you go, I like this beat, I'm going to work on this one. This one's pretty average. I might take a little bit longer writing something to this, and this one's no good, for example. So, each song will be at a different stage of production. Are there
Yes.
some that are kind of near completion? Or is it still kind of like that early stage?
Yeah, early stage, sort of work in progress at the moment. With
Right.
what we got. Yeah, yeah.
So you've kind of... Okay, I'm going to ask this question.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to reference it again. As a metal musician, you often sit around and you, like as a band, and you kind of write riffs and ideas and you
Yeah.
kind of bring them together as band practice and then you work songs out.
Mm.
How is it for hip-hop? Do you guys sit down and write your own beats, or is buying beats a thing?
Yeah. We buy beats at the moment.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So it's more, I guess, we just hunt for certain instrumentals, and then
yeah.
whatever one sets an impression, we just pass it around,
Okay.
see how we can work with it. Yeah.
How does one find beats? Would you go to Google and then go beats.com?
Currently on YouTube at the moment.
Oh, YouTube.
Yeah, it's kind of the tailor for it at the moment.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you hear something that you like, and then do you kind of reach out to that YouTuber or that artist and say, "Hey, look, I heard this beat. Is it for sale?"
Yeah, pretty much. So we go
Really?
into the online store and
Yeah.
yeah.
And okay, this leads into my next question: how much do beats cost?
Well, at the moment we're buying from international producers.
Right.
I'm still trying to source local producers at the moment that we
Okay.
can get beats off. So roughly around about just under $100, like $80 maybe.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, because it's like it's in American dollars, so which
Yep.
converts it.
So it's 80 American?
Yeah, roughly like that, depending
so-
on what license you're buying.
Right, so that's
Yeah.
sort of around that 140, 160 mark, just
Yeah.
depending on what the dollar does.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, is that expensive for a beat?
Uh,
Or is that sort of mid-range, or...
yeah, I would say it's mid-range, really.
Okay.
Yeah. Unless you're buying an exclusive license, I suppose. Just recently, I invested into as mentioned earlier, I was talking with this guy. He's from here in New Zealand,
Yes.
but he stays
And
over.
he's in France at the moment.
Yeah,
Yep.
yep. So I bought an exclusive beat off of him, which cost about $400.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Mm.
So I'm guessing finding local beat makers would be more...
More of our go-to.
like cost-effective.
Yeah.
And better availability.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can, it's easier point of contact.
Yeah, definitely. I guess we have reached out to a few local producers here
Yep.
in New Zealand, but I guess it's more of just trying to have the right sound that we could
Right, yeah.
work with in that. Yeah.
Because you want to keep you're looking for the certain sound that fits your style,
Yeah,
right?
that's it. Yeah.
So you're not going to look for smooth R&B when you want to put vocals about drug addiction. Oh, that's the first thing I could think of.
Yeah.
You're not going, "Ooh, baby, I picked up the meth pipe last night." You're not going to do that, right?
Yeah.
It kind of doesn't work. You need beats that are going to match the vocal output.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. This is so fascinating for me because I've always wanted to dive on into it because, working with producer Andrew and him having OBC, we haven't really touched on a lot of this.
Oh, okay.
So it's this real eye-opening for me.
Yeah.
And it's where I always like to feel like out of every guest, I always learn something. And we've had some guests where I've asked some of the dumbest questions in the world. And I'll give you guys an example. So we had a lovely potter, and her name was Wendy Cunliffe. And she's a lovely lady. She had discovered pottery quite late in life, actually when she moved here from England, and she was telling me about the different types of clay that they use. And I was like, oh, yeah. What are some examples? And she goes, paper clay, and started rattling off a few more. And I was like, hey, can I just ask a second, what is paper clay? And she said, it's clay with paper in it. And I went, oh, yeah, okay. That makes sense. It's kind of in the name, right?
Yeah.
So I always try and take something out of each podcast. So it's fascinating how it works in the hip hop sense, because you know you watch these movies like Straight Outta Compton, for example. Love that film. I think it's so well done. But you know you see Dre sitting there writing the beats and creating the samples and the drum loops and the keyboard melodies and all that sort of stuff. But and that works for them. But not all hip hop artists can do that, eh?
Yeah, I guess you can say it that way. Yeah,
Just all the way you're trying to develop to it, eh?
Yeah. I mean, is that something that you'd like to be able to do? Is write your own beats?
Like I myself, I can do a bit of beat making.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just never had the ability to adapt to them.
Right. Okay.
Like with writing and that. Yeah. So kind of took it elsewhere. Yeah.
And sometimes it's better just to outsource work, right?
Yeah.
You know, get someone else that can do it like really well and it be affordable.
Yeah.
You know, you can go. You know, is it one of those things where you can send an email saying, I like some of the work I've heard. Do you have a beat that's kind of like, and then a bit of a description, and then they go, actually, here's a beat I prepared earlier, and then kind of email it through, and you go, yes, that's exactly what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Is it kind of like that?
Yeah. Pretty much starts from there, really. Yeah.
Nice. Nice. My last question for you both. Street-made records, not saint-made records. I was about to say that because I'm an idiot.
Get a lot of that. Yeah.
Street-made records. Small and independent now. Where is it going to end up in 2 years' time?
2 years' time. Wow. Yeah, that's kind of
Large.
a long reach. Yeah.
Large?
Yeah,
How large?
Well, we're hoping to spread ourselves out there enough to where people...
Could be the next Flying Nuns. Who knows?
Oh, great reference.
Yeah.
Great reference. Yes. That's cool. Yeah. Okay, what about from your perspective, High Speed?
Well, I'll just be happy with wherever we go. Hey, I'm going to stick next to my brother no matter what.
Yeah, nice. And that's how it should be.
Yeah.
You know, and it's interesting, once you find someone that you can collaborate with really well, you kind of don't want to let them go.
Oh, yeah.
You kind of be like, let's work together in as many different ways as possible.
Yeah.
Because it's awesome. Hey, look, guys, thank you so much for coming and joining us on the podcast.
Thank you for having us.
This has been, honestly, so amazing and so eye-opening. I've had a lot of fun. We've had a few laughs. I've certainly sounded like an idiot, which I always do. Don't laugh, producer Andrew, you're a dick. But as I said, we'd love to have you back on. But much appreciated, guys. Thank you very much.
No, thank you. Cheers.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Well, there you go, everyone. That was Sinner and High Speed from Street Made Records. Man, it was a really, really interesting and cool podcast. Neither of them, we talk about it during the podcast. Neither of them have really done anything like this before. And I think Sinner makes a comment when coming back next time, they'll be a little bit more talkative, I guess was the word they used. But you know what? I actually thought they did really well. I had a lot of fun. I learnt heaps as well, and they're genuinely cool guys. And it's awesome to see people helping other people out of challenging situations. And High Speed says that Sinner helped him make an appropriate change in his life, course correct where he was, and man, I 100% salute that. I think that's absolutely amazing. You know, when you can, and I said it in the podcast as well, when you can find other people to collaborate with that you get on with really well, it's definitely worth sticking around and keeping them in your lives, because you can, as an artist, there sometimes you'll find people that you kind of connect with, sometimes you won't connect with them and it just won't work, but there are those moments where you're like, man, we really gel well, and as soon as that happens, you kind of want to snap those people up and be like, yeah, we need to work together on the rig. So sorry, actually sound like I'm trying to be hip, on the regular. But it is what it is. My big takeaway out of tonight, there were a few, if I'm perfectly honest. I think the one big thing was, I think it's related to sort of hip hop in general, is these guys weren't the first hip hop artists that we've had on. They're certainly not going to be the last either. But it's so interesting how people can have these lives that are filled with challenges, and they can then redirect that energy and focus into music. And I think that is absolutely amazing. And, hip-hop can get a bad rap at times. You can sort of look at it and go, oh, it's just, I don't know, people saying things that they would have never have lived, like I walk around with my Gat 9 and all those sorts of dumb things, when honestly it may not necessarily be like that. But if you are true and authentic to yourself as an artist, then that's really all you can ask for. And I think that's amazing. I think I'm looking forward to hearing some of the stuff that they've got. And, hopefully we get to work with them in the future as well. That'd be cool. And, we're definitely going to have them on the podcast. But so I think for me tonight, my big takeaway was getting more of an understanding of hip-hop, being a rock and metal guy, and just sort of learning to open my mind and, just see things from a fresh perspective. I'm going to cut to my camera and quickly itch my eye. I think that's the big one for me. And they were super cool and really, really nice guys to talk to. Actually, we were having a bit of a yak afterwards and kind of talking to them about, other things that we're going to be doing as well. And it was wicked. It was cool. We got to show them a music video that we've been working on in the background. Looks amazing. Looks like $1 million. So thank you to, producer Andrew, who did a lot of the filming, editor Lee for whipping out what looks like an absolutely phenomenal edit. And I'm also going to shout out to editor Rocky, who's currently color grading, though that should all be done by the time this podcast comes out, which will be cool. So speaking of podcasts, where can you, our wonderful listeners and viewers, find out more of what we've done? Well, I'm going to give you all of the information right now. So for video, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, all Northland Artists Conversation. For audio, you can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts, all Northland Artists Conversation. I will say this about Google, though. Google are closing Google Podcasts very, very soon, and it will be defaulting to essentially what is YouTube Podcasts. So make sure you stick around and have a look out there as well. If you want to reach out to us and you're an artist and you would love to have the opportunity to come down and sit with us, or if you're someone that's been on the podcast before and you're like, man, I've got something cool that I would love to sit down and talk about, please reach out to us. Our email address is hello@northlandartistsconversation.co.nz. Super simple. We welcome a lot of different creative people on here. We've had Bladesmith on here quite recently, and I'm still trying to get a tattooist. So if you're a tattooist and you don't mind sitting down and shooting the breeze with me for a little bit, man, we'd love to hear from you. So actually, anyone, if you've got any type of creative expression, we would love to hear from you. Just come in, sit down, and it'll be good. Now, we've also got a Patreon page as well, and there is 2 ways you can find it. I'll talk about those shortly. Patreon is where you can support the podcast a little bit more than you might normally. Instead of going through the socials and following us on YouTube or giving us a heart or a thumbs up or leaving a comment on Facebook and Instagram. You can actually support us with a small little donation each month. It's not much. We've got 2 tiers. The first tier we've got is a cup of coffee. That's $5 a month, which is pretty cheap. I think that's cheaper than even a medium coffee nowadays. I think they're around $6 or $7. So well affordable. And we've also got the Coffee Addict tier, which is $20 a month. That gives you a few extras that you don't get with the cup of coffee. You get to know who's coming out, like who the artists will be. So if you have a question that you would like me to ask our artist, you can just simply contact me through there, and I will gladly answer that question. You also get a bit of a shout out as well. So I'm going to do a shout out to all our wonderful patrons. I'm going to shout out in the... I'm going to go from most recent to first. So I'm going to shout out to Jenny Purchase. Jenny, thank you so much. I need to get you back and on the podcast because your book will probably be out by now, and I'm very, very interested to see how that's gone. Shout out to Maggie Coco. Maggie, would love to have you back on the podcast as well because you're a busy lady who tours a lot. And I know it's summer and you're out and about touring. Well, it's summer when we're recording this. You'll be out and about touring, making your money. But look, when you come back to Whangarei, please sing out. We'd love to have you back on. Michael Boter, Mr. Boter, mate, get you back in on the podcast in the chair. You've done some amazing stuff with horror short stories, and Blood Alcohol looks like it's doing incredibly well. So, mate, we'd love to have you come in. And our very first original, the one guest that started it all, Lauren Roach. Lauren, thank you so much for kicking off Patreon. It's been an absolute pleasure to have your continued support. Thank you so much. And you can find us, you can find more about Patreon one of two ways. So first way you can do is you can go to Google, type in Patreon, that's Patreon. Type that into the Google search bar, and then it'll be the top result. Just click there, create an account, search Northland Artists Conversation, pick your tier, go from there. Second way you can do it, nice and easy. You can just go up to open a Google page or a web browser, and type in the following: www.patreon.com/Northland Artists Conversation. That'll be down the bottom here. If I lean over, I might be looking at it. And then create an account and pick your tier and go from there. Super simple, guys. But yeah, we'd love to have more patrons on. Every little bit helps. And, it goes into upgrading our gear. It goes into making sure that we can continue to deliver the best quality product possible, and to be able to continue to innovate in the podcast space for us as well, because that's what we want to do. So thank you very much, everyone. I'm going to flick to the wide camera now and have a cough. Excuse me. So we're recording this in the middle of February 2024. This time last year, I believe we were just coming out the other side of Cyclone Gabriel. And it was a pretty tough time throughout the whole country. There were homes destroyed, lives lost, and it was definitely a challenging time for us as a country. So this year, I've sort of taken a moment to remember everything that happened throughout that time in 2023. And as we move forward to 2024, we, as a team that put together the Northland Artists Conversation, are looking forward to having a few more interesting things come out. We've got a lot of cool stuff lined up. Can't wait to share it all with you, which we will do at a later stage. I promise I'll keep you guys posted first. So on behalf of myself, producer Andrew, editor Lee, and editor Rocky, thank you so much for joining us on the Northland Artists Conversation, and we will see you guys real soon.